Great being back at Leeds Conservatoire, especially in this room, because I did all my third year projects on this desk. But it's really nice to give a bit back to the students. We can talk about our experiences since graduating. We're not that far ahead, so it'd be quite nice to share our experiences with everyone.
I don't think I would have kind of expected to be doing, like, playing in 2 bands that are signed and like building our own studio.
So since graduating from Leeds Conservatoire, it's been 2 years. In the first year, I did a lot of live sound engineering as a freelance basis. A lot of the skills I learned were transferable. A year after graduating, I managed to get a position in a recording studio called The Firm, spending a lot of time looking at orchestral arrangements that had been recorded at Abbey Road Studios. And I would kind of like do all the pre-mix production work, and then it would get sent off.
So I graduated about 4 years ago, and the first 2 years was just playing in different bands. I played a lot with a band called Far Caspian, who I still do now. During that time working with Joel, who's the singer, he kind of self-produces a lot of the music for the band, and through working with him kind of inspired me to do it for my own music. And then through that I started recording friends' bands and then friends of friends' bands, and then that's how the whole band thing kind of started. Eventually I moved into a place which had like a basement, and it was all ready to go, like a nice room. All we had to do was put our gear in there and some microphones, and that's kind of where it started about a year ago. Now we're kind of at a stage where we've kind of got like a slightly more steady clientele coming in, and we want to charge more money, so we want to basically expand the studio to something that kind of meets the kind of service that we want to actually give to our clients. So that's why we're looking at a place now where eventually, hopefully, we can kind of double it up as a rehearsal space. So ideally, we want to have somewhere where bands can come in and it'll be a bit of a community.
We've had a band recently in called Daisy Brain, who've just been on tour with Youngblood, and they've recorded a track with us, which was Radio 1's Track of the Week. So that was like a pretty mad achievement for us. Like, we never thought that would happen. We're in a band called Eades. I'm the drummer, Harry's the lead singer and guitarist. We're a 5-piece. We play garage rock, new wave, post-punk.
I was kind of writing in my bedroom these songs that I was kind of recording with whatever equipment I had. The more I did it, and I kind of realised that actually I wanted to kind of take it seriously. So slowly over like the 4 years, it's kind of built from like a single thing into like a band.
We signed to a Manchester-based label called Heistel Hit.
I think coming from a DIY background as well, like we kind of knew how we wanted to be. We would like mix it and record it all ourselves. They kind of gave us like the kind of platform to really like grow.
So I think the biggest benefit for me studying here was the use of the studios. I'd come here, I'd never used like a desk before properly. So it's really nice to be like taught on like a proper desk. All the studios are like really well equipped, and that was for me like the best like value of my studies. My studio tutors are like just amazing at getting me like off the ground and kind of like have the confidence to run like a recording session.
Even though I didn't have as much experience in the studio because I minored in it, the big thing that I took away was the opportunities to try different things. Like Dan said, the confidence to just throw yourself into these kind of situations rather than thinking like, oh, you know, I can't do that, I'm not trained in that. You just get on with it and just do it. And the other thing was like the community aspect as well. We were in similar circles that like continued outside of uni, that we still, you know, that's how we became friends even at a later stage.
Key points of our masterclass, we're going to be talking about our experiences. So like, you know, there's so many ways to make a living out of music. Try and do as much as you can during your studies so that when you leave you've got like a portfolio of work to kind of use to get jobs.
Big one for me that I like value a lot is like the ability to be resourceful. You're not always going to have an SSL mixing desk, so how can you kind of make the most out of like your limitations, make the most of like what you do have.
The friends you make while studying here obviously going to be like a pretty important part of your time post-graduation. You never know what they're going to be doing in a few years, and you might be able to help each other out. In our situation, me and Harry never thought we'd be working together, and all blossomed from meeting at the conservatoire.